Alright, we're streaming. Gotta find my page. And then we can get started. So you get your test out. I don't know if you need a separate piece of paper for this because I'm not your math teacher anymore. And we'll get started in just a minute. I can never find where it is. Whoa, there it is. And then I won't save my edits when I make them. 2.3 E math 8. It is live. Let's call this 1022. Get it done. Alright, saving. Alright, let's go. Excuse me. Which list shows the number in order from greatest to least? Okay, so we put G to L nice and big. And then we want to make all of these fractions, and it's the same fractions in each question. So I'm just going to look at A, and I'm just going to put all these in the calculator. Get some decimals. So negative 9/12 is negative 0.75. 1 2/5 is negative 1.4. Negative 8/5 is negative 1.6. And 2 5/9 is negative 2.55 or 56, depending on how you round it. Okay, and some of you are still having trouble because these are all negatives. And you need to remember that the biggest negative number is the one with the smallest value. So the biggest number here is actually this one right here. And if you're still having trouble with that, and this won't work all the time, but it'll work with this one, since all the numbers are negative, we can change this problem around, and we can do everything backwards. 1.4, 1.6, 2.55. Because if you think of it this way, this is pretty easy to order. I know that this is the smallest. Oh, these are actually in order already, right? 1. This is 4. They're in order, so the answer is A. Okay. The only thing that might still be giving you trouble is when you put this in, if you try to do this whole thing in the calculator, you'd have to do negative 1 minus 2/5. Okay. If you put that in the calculator and this came out as negative 0.6, that's wrong. And that might have been what threw you off here. Okay. Now I go back. Alright, number 2. Which of the following dilations represents an enlargement? So dilation, there's really no other options here. This dilation still means multiply. An enlargement hasn't changed. It means gets bigger. And to have a dilation that gets bigger, the scale factor has to be greater. I'm not even going to put the symbol because some of you get confused anyway. Greater than 1. Without looking at my answers, I know that I'm looking for something being multiplied by x and y greater than 1. So 0.2, that's not it. 1/2, that's not it. 3, it is. 0.8 is not. Okay, you also got to look at this and say which of these is not like the others. Okay? If it's an enlargement, something greater than 1. The rest of these are less than 1. Those would all be reductions. Alright, number 3. Asbury and Gandy said, y'all were very good at slope, which is good. Oh, we'll go over it anyway. So slope is change in y over change in x. And the y-intercept in a table is the y value when x equals 0. Okay, let's do slope first. So we make our arrows. We say x is going up by 2. From 2 to 4 is going up by 2 again. The constant rate, that's good. Our y is going up by 10. Up by 10. So we can say slope, or m, change in y goes on top, so 10 over change in x was 2. 10 over 2 simplifies to 5, and really that just leaves one answer. But just to be sure, so our y-intercept is the y value when x equals 0, and here is where x equals 0. When x is 0, y is 50. That's what we've got here. That's a big checkaroony. Answer is D. Okay, not a problem. All right, number 4, triangle is graphed. Triangle is dilated by a scale factor. Which order pair represents coordinates? Okay. So again, you've seen this question before. Anytime you see dilate, dilate means multiply. And I'm going to read what Anderson said about me. Did you quit being a math teacher to become a professional YouTuber? I was always a professional YouTuber because I am on YouTube and I am professional. Okay, so dilation means multiply. So this says plus, that's not it. This says minus, that's not it. This is division, division sign, that's not it. The only one where you're multiplying is this one here. Why is it -9 and -4? It's because it's point P, and point P was at -9, -4, and they multiplied both those numbers by some scale factor K. That's it. Anytime it talks about dilation, you're looking for a rule with multiplication. If there's more than one, gotta think a little bit harder. Yes, indeed, every day I am getting that bread, as the kids say. All right, number 5. This question, not even difficult. That's okay. Perimeter of a square fence is 80 feet. What is the new perimeter if all sides are doubled? So we're talking about doubling, so that's scale factor. And there is a rule we used when we did scale factor. We said the new whatever we're solving for is equal to the original whatever times the scale factor raised to the number of dimensions. Okay, and dimensions is dimensions, like perimeter is 1 dimension. That's why the units, there's nothing here, it's just feet. If it was area, that is 2 dimensions. Or volume, we get to it later on, 3 dimensions. So since the number of dimensions is just 1 here, all we have to do is take the original amount times the scale factor. And the original amount is 80 times the scale factor. If it's doubled, double just means the scale factor is 2. So 80 times 2 is 160. I kind of wrote on this answer, but that's okay. And that's it. All right, let's see. Coordinate grid below shows BGX and its image, which best describes transformation. Make BGX prime. Okie dokie, let's see. So let's try the easy ones. Reflection. If I just reflected this over X, don't actually write this down. If I reflected it, it would flip everything down, so I'd have this point, and this point. And that is not the triangle we wanted. So that is incorrect. So since we're not reflecting it, we're rotating it, 270, 90, or 180. And this is good. These are the only options left. Then we just need to figure out how they rotated it. So I'm not going to look at points B or G since they're not in a quadrant. Bless you, dog. Dog's over here sneezing at me. I'm going to look at point X. And I want to know how many quadrants over it goes. Because we say every 90 degrees moves point 1 quadrant. That's right, dog. 90 degrees, 1 quadrant. So if I go over here, that's 1. If I go one more, that's 2. So I move 2 quadrants. It says 90 degrees times 2 is 180. So I just rotated this whole thing 180 degrees. Sorry, dog was freaking out. Alright, number 7. Hopefully we caught up. Figure B, small figure is dilated with the origin as the center of dilation to create figure A. Which rule best represents the dilation that was applied to figure B to create figure A? Okay, cool. So dilation still means multiply. And if we look, it was small and got bigger. This is an enlargement, which means the scale factor greater than 1. And that eliminates some answers. It's not a good one, but you get the idea. So I know it cannot be 1/3. I know it cannot be 1/2. So it's either times 2 or times 3. And from here, we have some options, because I actually did this picture correctly. Thank goodness. So we could either pick a point. Like if I pick this point on figure B, this is, let's put it over here, 1, 2. Okay. And then that point moved up to this corner, and this is at 3, 6. And if I know these two things, I'd say, what did I multiply by to get from 1, 2 to 3, 6? So 1 times what equals 3? Or 2 times what equals 6? And the answer for both of those is the scale factor, which is indeed 3. So our scale factor is 3. Okay. The other way we could have done this, we said earlier that the scale factor changes times the original. So if I take this top side, this is 2 squares across. Pick a better color. Oh, where'd it go? 2 squares. That's still not a good color. Go back to red. Okay. And then I compare that to this new side here, because sides are just one-dimensional, so I just have to multiply new side, or no, old side times scale factor, get the new side, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it's the same math as over here. How do I get from 2 to 6? Well, it's just times 3, and that's our answer. Piece of cake. Alright, what is the slope of coordinates 5, -10, and from -4, -8? Or -4, +8, rather. So, don't do slope formula? Maybe. Let's hope you did. So our slope formula says y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is just a fancy way of saying change in x over change in y. So if I call this x1, y1, then x2, y2, doesn't matter which one's which. I just called this one 1 because it was the first one, and that makes sense to me. And then I'm going to take these 4 numbers and I'm going to put them into our equation, this way it looks. The y2 is 8 minus -10 over x2 is -4 minus 5. Yeah, this will work. And then I do the math. You can put this in the calculator or you can figure it out yourself. 8 minus -10, if I subtract the negative, that's the same as adding the opposite. This is 18. -4 and -5 makes -9. Both negative, you just combine them together. Then 18 divided by -9 simplifies to -2. Piece of cake. You don't even have to memorize this formula. That's on your formula chart. If you didn't get a formula chart, you should ask for one. Okay, that's slope. Number 9. Oof, this one. Okay. Which portion must be true? At least there's only 3 answers here. What I would do, since this one is upside down, I'm going to take W, X, Y, Z, and I'm gonna flip it around here. So I know A goes with W, right? First letter. B goes with X, C goes with Y, and D goes with Z. And then I don't need this picture ever again. So I'm going to compare this shape to that shape. So let's see, AB, top side, WX, top side. Okay, good so far. AB, on the top was CD, both on the left shape. That works. Does CD correspond to XY? No, XY is, did I mess this up? I did mess this up. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Hopefully you didn't write this down. Sorry. C goes with Y, so this should be Y down here. And then Z over here. Okay, let's try that again. Hi G2 trunk or treat in like 10 minutes. We might be done in 10 minutes. I don't know. We're like halfway there. Okay, so A, B, and CD. That part is okay. CD and XY. CD is the bottom, but XY is on the right, so this is not so good. Okay, because for this to be right, it would have to be CD and ZY. It's not the case. Let's see. B, AD is the left. WZ, it's the left over here. So that's good, right? That checks. BC is the right side. That should be the right side over here. XY, no, this says ZW. ZW, that's the right side. This does not work. That leaves only one left. Hopefully this is right. Otherwise I'm going to be doubting myself a lot here. So AD, it's on the left. WZ, it's on the left. That's good. BC is on the right. Corresponds to XY is on the right. Hey, that works. Okay, if you can. And sometimes it's not so easy, but this one is just flipped upside down. And then you just have to be careful because sometimes you make mistakes, right? Ha ha ha, like I make mistakes. Nobody beats me at Nitro type, except maybe Brant, because he's super fast. Which transformation does not preserve congruence? Okay, congruence means same size, same shape. And the key word for us here to get the answer right is the same size. When we say do not preserve, preserve means the E, I don't know where that E came from. Shape, fancy E. Preserve means keep. So let's see, which does not keep it congruent? So which one changes the size or shape? Or which one changes the size? Hint, hint, right? Like translation just means move, right? Doesn't mess with congruence. Reflection just means flip, doesn't change size or shape. Rotation just turns it, doesn't change size or shape. This one, dilation, literally means change the size. And if you're changing the size, it can't be the same size anymore. So dilations do not preserve congruence. Please don't get those wrong. And then number 11 goes along with it. So if you got number 10 right, hopefully you got number 11 right. So which is a rule for that? So we know the only one that does not preserve congruence is dilation. And we know, because I write it down every single time, dilation means multiply. So which of these are you multiplying by something other than 1? Some of you will be like, oh, well, negative x, really it's times negative 1x, so I'll multiply. Get out of here, nerd. So which of these has you multiplying by something other than 1? The only one is this one here. This would be, we're just doing plus a plus 3. That's a translation. If you're just changing the sign of one of them, if we change the x values, that's a reflection across y. And then this one, yeah, x and y are switching places. This is a rotation. And 90 degrees, I don't know if that's clockwise or counterclockwise. I never remember those rules. Well, we got to move on. We only got 10 minutes till trunk or treat. Which of the following shows a proportional relationship between x and y? So, proportional relationship goes through the origin. Or if it's an equation, looks like y equals mx with nothing at the end. Okay, and that's what we're going to look for. So which of these are proportional? Does this line go through the origin? No, it does not, because this goes through at 0, 2. So it's not proportional. 3x plus 7. See how we said it has to be y equals mx? Since it has plus 7, that means our y-intercept is at 0, 7. Also not proportional. This one here is 0, 0 point. Yes, it is. Okay. This is the origin, which makes this proportional. Easy. Alright, couple more. What is the slope of the hypotenuse of DEF and GHI? So hopefully if you paid attention, you would know that if it's on a line, the slope will be the same regardless of which triangle you use. So I don't even need to check both of these. And since this is blurry, I'm not going to. Okay. Also, we can say this line is going down. It means this has a negative slope, right? Because we always read the line from left to right. Because this is America, we read from left to right. And from left to right, it's going downhill, which means it's negative, which gets rid of both of these answers. Okay. Then we're just going to look at the rise over run. So if I take this little triangle, because it's less counting for me, the rise is 2, and the run is 3. It gives me 2/3, but I know, since I said it's a negative slope, that this has to be negative 2/3. That's this answer here. Okay. We also could have done it over here. This is 6, and this is over by 9. So if I said 6/9, made it negative, and that still simplifies to 2/3. Okay, because if it's on the same line, it's the same slope no matter what points you pick. All right. 14. Graph of linear function shown on the coordinate grid. Which of the following is true? Is it proportional? Or is it not proportional? Dude, okay. From a common sense standpoint, if your answer choices are, and it says which one is true, and your two choices are it is proportional or it is not proportional, then these are not the answers, right? Because it either is or it is not. There's no third option here, which means A or B has to be true, which means both of these are wrong. That's some solid logic for you there. Okay? And we said proportional means it goes through the origin. And we're going to keep writing that down every time that we never forget. Proportional means it goes through the origin, and this one does not go through the origin. If you're not sure, this is the origin down here. Origin. The center of the grid. 0, 0. Blank expression. Owl face. Origin. This right here, this is 0, 2. That is not the origin. And since it does not go through the origin, it is not proportional. Okay? It's also a positive slope, correct? Because it's going uphill. And what is a slope line? Oh, let's answer the question. Okay, so we pick 2 points. So we have 0, 2. I know that's a point on here. And just for the sake of not having to count, I'm going to pick the X-Intercept, sometimes forgotten. It's at -4, 0. And I'm going to draw my triangle. So I can take rise over run. Yes, Joshua got it right. Good job. So this from right here goes up by 2 and goes over by 1, 2, 3, 4. Our slope is 2/4, which simplifies to positive 1/2. And if you recognize that since it is going uphill, you shouldn't have picked the negative ones, and you have like a 1/3 chance of getting it right. What is the Y-intercept? Oh, we wrote that one down too. Good thing we took these notes up here. The Y-intercept 0, 2, which makes Y-intercept 2. That was easy. And 17, just sort of out in left field here. Integers are a subset of rational numbers. So we need our chart. We're going to draw the chart. This is a perfect rectangle. I'm going to put irrational numbers over here, never to be talked about again. And then on this side, we have counting numbers. And then, oh yeah, this is a super good drawing we got going here. Whole numbers. And then outside of that, we have, I'm gonna make my box bigger. Hold on, this doesn't work. I'll throw this whole video away. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Make this. Oh. Yeah, now that's looking good. What am I doing? Alright. Fix this line up. Okay, this is integers. How did I do this last time? I think I used the shape tool. But this is real. Actually, these are all real. Ha 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 ha. Real numbers. Okay, so are integers a subset of rational numbers? Is integers a smaller circle than the rational numbers? And since rational numbers is this entire left-hand side of the box, and integers is definitely inside of that, integers are definitely a subset of rational numbers. If they switched the question around, if it said, are rational numbers a subset of integers, then it would be false. Okay? But if it is a smaller circle, then it is a subset of the bigger group. Okay? Counting is a subset of whole. Whole is a subset of integers. Integers is a subset of rational. And irrational is all by itself. Got no friends. Am I going to be rich? Or am I going to reach 10 million subs? Probably not. Kids just don't like math like they used to. Let's see. What did that take us? 28 minutes? We don't have time for typing today. Sorry. Go watch the Nitro type videos. You want to catch up on the excitement. Okay. Otherwise, good night.